All right, come on in here, mister. Come on in here. Where's your toy? All right, guys, we're down here with Teddy for our week 1 video recap. In these videos, we're going to go over all of the behaviors that we've been practicing with the puppies for the last week. Good boy, Teddy. We've got Teddy down here now. We're just starting out with a little bit of play. Throughout the training session, we'll kind of go back and forth between playing with the puppies a little bit, then working on some behaviors with our clicker and our food. Good boy, Teddy. This keeps it a nice balance, nice and fun for these little babies. Training should always be fun. When you practice at home with your puppies, you can even just pick 2 or 3 things to do, and then later in the day, do another 2 or 3 things to do, or the next day or something like that. You don't have to pack it all in like we're doing just for your recap videos, right? Good job, Teddy. Aren't you a little cutie? The Flirt Pull is a fun toy for puppies, especially because they can chase it, they can grab it, they can bite it. We can play a little bit of tug. It's a nice balance of play for the puppy. Ooh, are you going to use the potty? What a smart boy. Look at you in the potty box. Getting yourself empty before we start to train. Wow, Teddy, good boy. Yeah. When you registered for the program, you should have gotten in your initial confirmation email some links to a few different resources. One of them will take you to our Stay and Train webpage. You're going to see the video library on there. I want you, after you're done watching this recap video, to go check out the videos in the video library for week 1. I'm going to go into more detail in those videos of how we're training each of the behaviors and why. I just don't have enough time to do that in every single recap video for every single litter. So I made that video library for you guys so that you can reference for each specific behavior. And I think we're going to get started now. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to grab some snacks. I'm going to grab the clicker. And the very first thing that we introduce to these puppies is charging the clicker. So I want to teach Teddy that the sound of the clicker means that he's going to get a cookie. Yeah, good boy. So we're making this association between the click and getting fed. Yeah, you know what time it is now, right? So we're just charging the clicker. We're getting him primed for the training session. Okay, I don't do this forever, but I do it for a few weeks with baby puppies. I'm going to recommend that you do it too in that first week that you have your puppy home, okay? So now we're going to move into following a food lure. So when I have my dog follow a food lure, I'm going to hold the food against my flat palm just like this underneath my thumb, okay? This avoids me from holding the treat like this and inviting the puppy to bite my fingers. If you hold it like this and then present your flat palm to the puppy, then he's going to lick the food that's in your hand, okay? And that's going to teach him to take the food nicely. Yes, good boy. Oh, you dropped it. And then when I'm ready to feed the treat to the dog, I just move my thumb out of the way, okay? So watch that again. I'm going to get him connected to that food. I want him connected to my hand the whole time. I click and release the cookie just by moving my thumb out of the way. And he's just gently licking my hand the whole time. When we're having the puppy follow a food lure, we want them connected to the food hand. See how connected he is? Yeah, good boy. Okay, so now we're going to pair this game with his name, okay? So I'm just going to show him the food, and I'm going to say, Teddy. Good job, buddy. We're going to do that a couple more times. So now I'm teaching him what his name is. Teddy. And notice how I'm going back and forth between using my left hand and my right hand. I want the dog to be able to follow direction. Teddy. With either hand. Good job, Bubs. Let's do one more. Teddy. Yeah, you're smarty pants. Look at you. Okay, so first 3 exercises right out of the gate. They seem pretty simple, but they're the foundations for everything else. Charging the clicker, teaching him that the sound of the click means cookies coming. Having him learn how to follow the food lure in my hand so that we can use that to train all the rest of his behaviors. Wow, Teddy, you're so tough. And then starting to pair the food lure with his name, so playing a little bit of the name game so that we teach the dog what their name is. If your dog doesn't know what their name is, then it's going to be really hard to get their attention for anything else later in life, right? So we start that early. Those are the first 3 things that I teach all my puppies, or even just any new dog that comes into my house. Doesn't need to be a puppy. That's just the foundations. for everything else, right, Teddy? Yeah, you're so sweet. Look at you. You want the toy or you just want pets? You want pets and cuddles? Yeah, you're cutie. Oh, good boy. All right, so we're going to move into our next few training exercises here after we get some belly scratches. Oh my God, look at that. Oh, Teddy. What a cutie. Okay, so now we're going to move into our next set of training exercises. Where are you? There you are. You can grab some more cookies. And the next thing that I'm going to show you is a hand target. The hand target is going to look very similar to following a food lure. It's a little bit different though because I'm going to disconnect from the puppy, okay? So I'm actually going to pull my hand away from their face, and as soon as he reconnects and his little nose targets my flat palm, that's when I'm going to mark with the clicker and release the treat, okay? So let me show you what the hand target looks like now. We start with the puppy on the food lure, see how I'm connected, but then I'm going to take my hand away. Teddy, touch. Good boy. As soon as he reconnects, we click, we let him have the treat. Teddy, touch. Wow, look at you. Smarty pants. Teddy, touch. Good job. Do one more. Teddy, touch. Great. Now I'm going to toss some release cookies on the ground. Similar to charging the clicker, I want to teach the puppy what a release word means. And it means that you can stop doing whatever it is that I had asked you to do before. But first I just have to teach them that when I say, okay, it means that I'm going to put a piece of food on the ground. Okay. And you can see that they have to learn this. Okay. See how he needs to learn how to find the cookie on the ground? Okay. Because we just did so many reps of me having the food in my hand. Okay. I want him to learn that the word okay means I'm going to toss a cookie and you can go after it. You can eat it up off the ground, okay? So one more of those. Okay. And you might be wondering, like, why or how would I ever use this? And I'm going to show you right now with our next exercise. So the first position change that we taught our puppies in week 1 is sit. So I'm going to start Teddy. You're going to see how all this stuff is going to start to come together. I'm going to start Teddy on the food lure. Okay, then I'm going to lure him into the sit position. Teddy, sit. I'm going to mark that with the clicker and feed him. And then when we're done, I'm going to say, okay. And I'm going to release him out of position with that release word. Okay, so watch that again. Get a couple of pieces. Food lure. Teddy, sit. And release. Okay. Right here, bud. Okay. Good job. Good job. Let's do it one more time. Come over here. Teddy, sit. Good, sit. Okay. So you could kind of see that time how I asked him to sit, I marked, I clicked, I fed him. He got up out of the sit before I said okay, and I used that cookie to push him back into the sit, to lure him back into the sit. Then I said okay and released him from the sit, right? So we're kind of teaching the puppies right off the bat that, you know, sit means sit until I tell you otherwise. And we're going to do that with a few other things as well, okay? But we do it in a very positive and low conflict way for our tiny little babies. Oh, some of these treats are big. I am breaking them up. Okay, the next thing I'm going to show you that's also going to utilize the release cue is the mat. The mat is going to turn into a stay, but we have to break this down into tiny little pieces. So for week 1 for our little babies, we just put the mat down on the ground, and then when Teddy can get 4 paws on, there it is. I'm going to click the clicker, and I'm going to start to drop treats on the mat, okay? Again, I might need to point them out to the dogs early on. I'm going to feed him 3 or 4 pieces for being on the mat, and I'm going to say, okay, and I'm going to release him off. All right, let's do that again. Put the mat down. Let's see if he can seek it out on his own. Uh-oh, I dropped a piece. Yeah, that was hard, sorry. You can help him by pointing, which I did because I made him think that he was going to get that cookie on the ground. Good job, buddy. Drop a few pieces on the mat. Help him find them if he needs it. There's one. You put your paw on it, Stinky. Okay, release him off. Great, let me grab a few more pieces of treat and we'll do that one more time. So each week we're going to add a little bit more criteria to this mat behavior. This week it's super simple. We just want to teach the puppies to seek out the mat and get 4 paws on. Good job, Bubs. There it is. Very good job. Yeah, there's another one. More. It's right there. Okay. Good job, Teddy. Wow. All right, let's take a little play break again. That was a lot of stuff. You did really good. Where's your toy? There it is. Oh my goodness, good boy. So again, we're just going back and forth between training and playing with food to playing with the toy. And this is also training too, because I'm training Teddy right now that when you play with humans, we don't chase and bite people, we chase and bite our toys, right? Oh, good boy, there we go. Wow, get it, ha-ha. You're a smart boy, Teddy. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? This flirt pole right here is my favorite flirt pole for puppies and small dogs, and I'll even use it for my big dogs sometimes. You can find it right on Amazon. If you go to the products page of our website, I have a link there that'll take you to Amazon for the flirt pole. It's kind of like this thing's kind of like a bungee, but then I like to grab it here if they get a good grip on it. We can play tug here too. Yeah, good boy. All right, I got a couple more things to show you with Teddy. The next one is going to be some handling exercises, and the last thing is going to be getting him dressed in his harness. I'm going to see if I can steal this back from him. Where's that toy? Oh my God, you got it. Look at you, you're so tough. Good boy. Oh, ho, ho, I got it. All right, so I'm going to grab some food. I'm going to get down on the ground with the puppy. It's fairly comfortable enough for me to get down on the ground with the dogs. If it's not comfortable for you to get down on the ground, you can certainly pick your puppy up and put them on a table or even like the counter or something like that. Some sort of raised surface so you don't have to get down on the ground. So our handling exercises are going to teach our puppies all about handling at the groomer and the vet, okay? Your puppy's going to require a lifetime of grooming and veterinary care. We want to make sure that they're comfortable with the type of handling they're going to receive in those places. So I just start off by having food in one hand, and I'm just petting Teddy normally, okay? So from like his head to his bum. Then I'm going, and I can say yes and feed him a piece of food. Then I'm going to take this hand, I'm going to come under his belly, yes. I'm just going to stabilize him. I'm going to restrain him a little bit. I'm holding him still. Yes. Every time I say yes, I'm giving him a cookie. I'm not using the clicker for this exercise just because I don't have enough hands. Now I'm going to start to handle specific body parts. So I'm going to come up to his ear. Yes. Gently massage his ear canal. Let's do that to the other ear. Yes. Now we're going to move on to feet. Pick up a foot. Yes. And I'm just gently massaging his toes when I pick up his feet. Yes. So you can see how all of this is getting him prepared for, yes, ear cleanings, nail trims. Before you can clean the ears, before you can trim the nails, you have to be able to handle the ears. You need to be able to handle the nails or the feet or his legs or whatever. Yes, good boy. Okay, last one is his tail. Yes. Very good job, buddy. Okay, then I use that release word to tell him that we're all done. You can move away from me now, right? So these are super important exercises. I practice them with my puppies on a regular basis, just as much as sits and downs and go to your mat and hand targets and everything else, because this is an investment into whether your dog is going to accept grooming and veterinary care, right? So super important. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the harness. We want to try to socialize our puppies to whatever gear they're going to be wearing early in life. I'm going to pick Teddy up. The harnesses that we have that are going to be going home with your puppy, these are the Steppen style harnesses. I'm going to show you how I find the easiest way to get these harnesses on and off your dog. I pick the dog up and I'm going to get feet through first, okay? Once feet are through, then I'm going to do whatever's on the back here. So we got Velcro, and then we also have the little clip. Okay, everything's clipped. We got him in with minimal wiggling or fighting or resisting me. Then I'm going to set him down on the ground. These puppies have been doing great with their harnesses from day one. Sometimes they're like initially like, oh, I'm wearing a straitjacket, I can't move. These pups have been doing great. And I'm just going to pull that toy out again and we're going to play a little bit. So I want to teach the puppy that when you have your walking gear on, you can move around and play and do all the things like you normally do. We're socializing them to the harness. Now your puppy may grow out of the harness fairly quickly that they go home with. If you like this style of harness, the dog likes this style of harness, they're comfortable in it, it's easy for you to get it on and off them, great. If not, there are a million different types of harnesses on the market. When I had a small dog before, I had a harness that like slipped over the top of her head and buckled underneath her chest. And that was a harness that fit her very comfortably. She seemed very comfortable in it, and that's what worked for us, okay? So you can experiment with harness types. If your dog does great in this kind of harness, you can keep them in this. You just want to make sure that whatever you're using is a nice snug fit and your puppy isn't going to be able to escape it, okay? Oh my goodness, Teddy. Wow, you did so good, buddy. All right, so that's everything for Teddy. Again, please check out the videos in your video library and all those other resources that we have for you on the web page. You can get yourself educated and familiarized with all that stuff now before your puppy goes home. If you have any questions, please just shoot us an email. Are you going to follow me? And we'll see you next week for your week 2 recap.